day 7 of our 9-day getaway, and this is where we parked up last night. And it was very, very quiet. Not even one car went past. It helps because the road's actually closed further along, so there's a sign. This is another one we found on Park for Night. So we've got the railway viaduct there, and the train that you saw in yesterday's video went over that. So it was very quiet. Didn't hear any cars last night. I haven't heard any cars this morning. And it was pitch black. And I mean pitch black. It was so quiet that we were tired anyway and went to bed at 9:30. The dog slept all night too, and it's now 7:25, and we've only been up for about half an hour. So that is a heck of a good night's sleep for us and for the dogs. Anyway, we're going to have some breakfast. Nothing exciting this morning, just a breakfast biscuit and a cup of coffee. And then I guess we'll go and find somewhere to have another coffee and decide what we're doing for the day. So what's the plan?
We're heading to Sedbergh, wherever pronunciation it is, we're not sure. But we're heading for a coffee. It's only, if we get there about 10 o'clock, perfect time for a coffee, I think. Don't you?
I reckon so. Apart from that, it's going to be studying the book again, I think, isn't it? And
a bit of a greyer day today than it was yesterday. So we'll see where we get to.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto a 684.
so we're actually bitting and batting between counties, aren't we? Because we've been in our areas, we've been in the Yorkshire Dales, haven't we? And now we're heading
Bowland, the Dales.
Heading into Cumbria now, again.
Whether we'll stay there or come back this way, I don't know.
We have no plans. That's the plan.
You're out your comfort zone.
I am a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm actually enjoying it. It's nice. As we said last night, it's actually nice not to have everything so regimented, isn't it? And actually not know. Shut up! Actually nice not to know what we're doing from day to day, or where we're going to stay. So we just pulled up here. We saw this, Adam Sedgwick and the Dense Fault. The rounded hills in front of you are the Howgill Fells, and behind you lie the limestone hills and valleys of the Yorkshire Dales. Near to where we're standing is a huge fault in the Earth's crust where the ancient rocks of the Howgills have been forced up high above the younger limestone of the Dales. And the geologist Adam Sedgwick was born in nearby Cowgill in 1785, and he was the first person to identify the Dense Fault. He went on to become a gifted teacher at Cambridge University, and was known as the father of British geology. The smooth shape of the Howgills is due to the rock they are made from. The hard, compact rocks resisted the grinding glaciers of the ice ages and so formed rounded hills. The hardness of the limestone in the Dales varies, with soft shale layers among harder limestones and sandstones. So this meant that the glaciers wore them down at different rates, leading to the characteristically stepped profile of the limestone hills behind us. Now we really must go and find that coffee. We've just pulled up at Farfield Mill,
We saw a sign for it on the road, and it's coffee time.
It did say, and it said tea rooms, didn't it? So totally the wrong name though. Should be coffee rooms.
Morning.
So the ladies just explained, there's a lot to see here. Lots of different areas and floors. So we'll have a quick look around before we have a coffee. So if you're in the area, definitely worth coming. Morning. Some lovely rugs. And a lady just said to us that there's a second-hand bookshop, so no doubt Keith will be going to have a look in there to see whether there are any Observer books, because he does collect Observer books. He's making rugs. So how long did it take you to make a rug?
Between 3 and 4 hours. So the technique is a peg loom, the oldest form of weaving apparently that we as a species invented.
Uh-huh.
And the material is selvage. So this is the edges from the weaving industry. So when they make fabric, the loom automatically cuts the furry weft bits off to leave a sharper edge for the fabric.
Right.
Usually it goes to landfill, so we buy it and upcycle it into the rugs.
Recycling at its best. Or upcycling at its best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Some lovely rugs.
Mm.
And how do you pronounce
Nice.
nice?
So this fabric is actually from the Isle of Lewis,
Right.
and nice rocks are found on the Isle of Lewis. And
Yeah.
they're stripy, like the rugs. So it's me trying to be clever.
Well, I'm glad you pronounced it because I was going to say Nice.
My daughters say that to annoy me.
Thank you. Thanks for letting us show it.
Are you working here today, or on the course, or just visiting?
No, we're just visiting. We just drove past and we saw the sign that said different outlets and coffee. So
It's just nice rugs.
right, okay. So if you're watching us, go over and have a look at Nice Rugs, which is GNEISS.
That's it.
Thank you. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Cheers, now. Have a good visit.
Thank you.
And you.
Always good when you find an old mill that's been repurposed for, reused for arts and crafts and outlets. Time then. At last.
Pancake.
Flapjack for you.
Blackjack for me.
Apple and almond for me. Yep. Try to have a quick look around the historical part of the mill and the heritage. So this is the warp mill. The large wheel is the warp wheel, which is 7 yards long. So this is a loom room. The loom room. And on the left, there is a Dobcross loom, which was made in the 1930s. And on the right, this green one, Summit, is a Summit loom, which is more modern, and the 1970s loom. And this is a turbine, powered by a big water wheel. The water came along a mill race from the nearby river Clough and was led into the mill under an arch halfway along the side of the main building.
The turbine replaced the water wheel.
The Vortex water turbine. But from 1911 a steam engine provided extra power. And the engine shed and its chimney once stood beside this building, but it was demolished sometime in the 1960s when the insurance became too costly. It's a shame. I nearly did that as well, because it's just one of those things that
Texture.
you want to touch, isn't it?
How many bums have sat on it?
And this is a Whitney blanket loom. That was Farfield Mill.
Yes. Will we get to Sedbergh yet?
Sedbergh. We will, but I was a little bit peeved in there, wasn't I?
Yes, as usual.
Doesn't say much, does it? But more and more places that we go to are saying card payment only. And we like to pay in cash because we collect cash, bits of change and little bits of lottery winning to spend when we're away. And rather than putting it into an account, we pay cash. So it's a bit annoying. But what did make me chuckle in there was that it was card payments only, but they had a tip jar, which was coins. There you go. So this is Sedbergh. We still don't know how to pronounce it. Not sure whether we're going to be able to park anywhere or not. There's plenty of coffee shops to try. Oh, there's a car park sign there.
I'm afraid I've got to go to Clutterbooks.
Well, we just saw signs as we were coming in, didn't we? Saying England's book town.
Yeah.
So they're looking over and around. There are lots of bookshops. So, but as I said a little bit earlier, Keith does like to look for his Observer books. He's going in. We've seen lots of phone boxes that have been turned into libraries.
Yeah.
Not seen one of these before. Bus shelter. And I think we need one of those because we know nothing about this place. Looks a nice little town though. Which way do you want to go? So we're in the information centre and another bookshop, and just seen this section, Bygone Children's section, and actually recognise a lot of these books from my childhood. some of which I think belongs to my sister, who is older than me. But I recognise Heidi Grows Up. And I've just shown that to Keith, and he recognises it as well and remembers it. I've not looked too closely yet, but I think they're probably going to be some of the old Famous 5 hardback editions. I had the full set of those. That again belonged to my sister originally.
Jennings, they were the ones I used to read. Jennings Goes to School and the whole series of them.
I've not heard of those.
30 quid.
So there's a nice selection of shops, lots of cafes, lots of bookshops, and we've just asked for what is the proper pronunciation of the town, and it is
Sedbergh.
Sedbergh. And we also asked how it became a book town, and we'll tell you that when we next stop and have a coffee. But it is England's book town. Hay-on-Wye is Wales, the Welsh book town. Sedbergh is the English one. And then there's one in Scotland as well, which the lady says she believes is somewhere in Dumfries. But if you like books and you're visiting the lakes or the Yorkshire Dales, there are certainly plenty of second-hand bookshops to have a look around here. Keith's got quite a collection now of Observer books, and a lot of first editions he's managed to buy today at really good prices. So it's a place to come. There are lots of lovely little ginnels and alleyways here too. Thank you. Well, I'm just sat here on this bench because I've been wandering around and I've lost Keith, or Keith's lost me. Not sure which way around it is. I'll say that I've lost Keith. He's wandered into another bookshop. I know not where. Quite impressed with this place. We drove around the outskirts of it and didn't think there was going to be much, but then we found the main street and it's not bad. Ah! I spot him. He's just wandering around that way there. There he is. I'd lost you.
Had you?
But as I said, he's probably in another bookshop somewhere.
I was.
Did you make a purchase?
I did.
What did you buy this time?
Another one.
First edition, or?
It is a first edition.
Are you doing well?
I am. It's expensive though. Well, it's getting expensive.
Yeah, but...
It's 20 quid I've spent on books so far.
Yeah, but then I bought, you bought for me a new book that I added to your collection, which was probably half that anyway.
Yes.
So... Quite impressed with this little place.
Everywhere has a little bookshop. That was
Yeah.
An outdoor shop that had books in it.
Yeah,
And
and
there's
then...
an estate agent there that's got books in it.
Yeah, and then there's a travel agents as well, and that seems to have second-hand books in it as well. Travel books, second-hand travel books. So yeah, quite impressed. Some nice little ginnels and alleyways, as I say. So. But we'll tell you why it became a book town next, as I said before. Of course, you come across some other things. This street was widened in 1897. It was widened to commemorate the 60th year of the reign of Queen Victoria by her grateful subjects at Sedbergh. Before you get your hands greasy with these humongous sausage rolls that we've got to go with our coffees, which Observer books did you buy?
Well, I think I've got some of them, but they're nice first editions. Pottery and Porcelain, which is 1973. Not relatively old, but it's a first edition. Some of them I'll have to do a bit of research because they're first editions and they originally didn't put dates in them. So that's a first edition of ships. Music's a first edition. Trees and Shrubs is a first edition. Yeah, some of them don't have Furniture's a first edition, but that's got 1964.
The year I was born.
I know, it's as old as you.
It's as old as me. Is it in better condition than me?
Yeah, it is actually.
Cheeky.
Wait, there's one that I found. That's nuts. Which one was it? First edition from the 50s. 53, I think it was.
Older than you, even.
Older than me, yeah. First edition, 1953.
3 years older than you, in fact.
4, 3. So yeah, they're very good condition. So I have to go through the ones I've got at home and shuffle them around now. And I do have a list of ones I've got, but you don't know what that is now.
Well, you like to go in second-hand bookshops, don't you?
I do.
And charity shops to see if you can find any.
Yeah.
So,
It's
anyway.
getting harder to find. Yeah.
Another of Keith's collections.
Soft and roll.
They look nice.
They do. There you go.
I don't mind.
They're heavy. And very nice.
Yeah, I know we've still not told you why it's a book town, but oh, we had that coffee. It wasn't really the place. Just want to show you another little alleyway dotted around. This is another nice one. Lovely little place to live. Gorgeous. So I've lost him again. I was looking through a shop window and he went to look for some potatoes for tea because we bought some nice lamb chops from the butcher's. Anyway, well, I'm here waiting for him. It says Sedbergh, Cumbrian town in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. Part? Oh, speak, Darryl, speak. In the national park. The town's charter dates back to 1251, but long before that the Normans built a castle here at the strategic meeting point of Four Dales. Important trade routes across the Pennines ran through the town. It was the centre of a thriving woolen industry. So what else can I tell you? Well, there's a Quaker meeting house here. George Fox, founder of the Quakers, preached in Sedbergh in 1652, introducing a religious movement which rapidly swept through the surrounding dales. Built in 1675, Brigg Flats is the second oldest Quaker meeting house in the country, and it's still in use today. There's also a public school here, which was built in 1525 by Roger Lupton, who was chaplain to Kings Henry VII and King Henry VIII. Well, I've just had one of those telephone calls thingies to say, where are you? I'd had a text already saying, I'm in another bookshop, and he's just telephoned me, and he said, I'm on my way back. And I said, have you bought any more? And he said, I have. What have you bought now then?
Roman England, Britain, and flags, and another one, locomotives. They a bit more expensive those. Two of them were anyway.
But worth it.
I think so.
You don't spend a lot on yourself.
I don't, no. I'm not coming here again.
No, I'll have to go tell you why. We're back on one of those nice roads that we like. We might find somewhere around here to park up for the night later on. Might come back round here. There's no sheep around, So it's time to let the four have a quick run to stretch the legs.
5. This way.
So the school I mentioned earlier, in 2025, it'll celebrate its 500th anniversary. That's an old school, isn't it? Anyway, why did Sedbergh become a book town? Well, we were speaking to a lady in the tourist information shop and asking her why, because obviously Hay on Wye is the one that everyone knows. But apparently, various reasons, they wanted one for England, and it was chosen partly because they wanted scenic historical towns and villages to be, well, towns to become book towns, and Sedbergh had a lot of history. There was also the fact that there was, before 2001, 2002 to 2003, after the outbreak of foot and mouth, where the tourist industry was quite badly decimated, they needed to reinvent themselves. So some people got together and they decided that the best way forward was to form a literary society, and from there things grew, and it became, in 2003, the official English book town. So as you saw and we mentioned, there are various bookshops, second-hand bookshops in the town, but after the financial crash a few years ago, a lot of the bookshops actually went, and the shop owners couldn't afford to keep going. So what they now do is rent spaces in different places. The tourist information where we went, where Keith got a lot of his books, they rent shelves out to different dealers, as do the cafes and other places. So wherever you go in the town, there are places that have lots and lots of different shelves, and they all are rented out by different dealers. So you get a very good variety of books. I don't think Keith's been to a place where he's managed to get so many of the Observer books in one go. So it's not bad, is it? Anyway, we're not parking up yet because we've still got other places to go. But this is looking like somewhere we might park tonight. Or if not this spot, somewhere very close. So now, to visit a bit of history. We're off to see a castle, or the remains of a castle. That, in the distance, is Lammerside Castle. Guarded by the cattle. I'm half expecting a halt. Who goes there, or is that halt moo goes there? Hello.
You're all camera shy.
Yep.
It's amazing how they made these arches.
Yeah.
I know they're all held in because they weight each other down, but getting that arch, how do they hold it in? If you know what I mean? Until they get the last one in.
I know.
To
Yeah.
wedge it.
Look at the branch growing through it as well. That one.
Right, these are the cellars, aren't they?
Yeah, they must be, mustn't they? I don't think there's any
Cellars.
cellars. Well, we were reading about this place, which again is in the Wild Guide to the Lakes and Dales. It said you can get into the cellars. Ah, maybe you can. Luckily, we brought a light with us. Might be able to get in. I don't know. At the risk of repeating myself too often, isn't history amazing? Do you agree? Hey, do you agree? Well, say something then. Do you agree? History is amazing.
It's been surveyed.
Sorry?
It's been surveyed.
Yeah, I saw those. What are those?
Well, do you remember that programme where they were surveying old buildings just to make sure there's no further damage in there?
Oh, right, yes.
They're all around.
Yeah, I noticed a few. Luckily, we've got a big light with us that we can use when we're filming dark places. So maybe we can get into the cellars, because it did look like something just around the corner here. We'll put something up on screen about the history of this one, because we haven't got anything printed out and there's no internet signal to be able to read it. Not really cellars as such then.
Well, yeah, I think these are cellars.
All right.
The living quarters are above.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
But even these are arched, aren't they?
Yeah.
And this is one of two castles in this area. This one and Pendragon, which we'll show you next. Ah, I think Keith's going up. Keith's going up. I'm going up.
They're inquisitive, aren't they?
They are, aren't they? What's that saying? Nosy cows.
You'd say it was a big house, wouldn't you? You had this.
Yeah,
Floor space.
good views. impressive structure, remains of an impressive structure. You see, if I licked those, I'd sting my tongue.
Well, there's the remains of the spiral staircase. You can see, you might not see, but it's curved round. And there's the steps. Obviously, a lot of it has disappeared. Darryl with his attaché case.
These have the numbers in.
And did you know spiral staircases are always clockwise?
I didn't. Why?
Apparently it gives the defending fighters a better chance because it's their striking arm
right,
that's
the
not against the wall.
Right. Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so excuse me sniffing.
Well, thank you for letting us have a look at the castle. It's very kind of you. And it was free entry too. Much appreciated. So that was Lammerside Castle.
Yep.
Mentioned Pendragon Castle that we're going to go to next. But we decided it's getting a bit later now, so we'll do that one in the next video. I'll go there tomorrow.
Well, we're all getting ready for a drink as well.
We are. We need a cup of tea. So
Cup
we're
of
going
tea this time of the day.
to go for it. Find a park up for the night. Get kettle on. Have a chocky biscuit. And then decide what we're having for tea. We've got those chops that we bought. Or we might just have sausages or egg on toast or something like that. We'll see.
That sausage roll was pretty
It
filling,
was very
so
filling, wasn't it? So,
might just be a light tea, I think.
a light bite. So what's on the menu, chef?
Egg on toast.
You said you wanted something simple.
Yeah.
Eggs in the rich monkey. Yes, please. Thank you. I'm finishing off. It is a bit of a cheat because it did come out of a packet, but just warming some apple crumble. We have made this from scratch before though. Won't look too bad, even if it is a cheaty one. And some custard with it. Nobody can say we don't eat well in this van. So that's it for this video. Another day out with us on our trip away. Hope you've enjoyed it. Seen some different things again. And we'll see you on the next video. As usual, thanks for watching.
Bye.
See you soon.
You want to say bye-bye as well?
Yeah, you have to look at the camera then. Yes. look at the camera.